everyone, my name is Daniel, founder of Outbound Acceleration. I'm going to show you a complete case study breakdown of how we helped one of our clients generate 23 qualified funding applications and $15,000 in sales commissions in just the first 6 weeks of working with us. I'll walk you through exactly what happened, and then you'll hear directly from the client himself about his experience working with us. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Daniel. I'm the founder of Outbound Acceleration, and we help B2B companies fill their pipeline with 10 to 15 qualified sales meetings per month without the need to hire additional SDRs. We do this by mapping out your total addressable market and running done-for-you outbound campaigns. So this case study is going to feature Tom Chillemi. He's the CEO of Pathway Catalyst Partners, and they're a capital solutions company in the financial services space. They help businesses access funding, equipment financing, and growth capital. Tom operates in a highly competitive space where generating qualified leads is absolutely critical to success. So these are the results we generated for Tom. The timeline was the first 6 weeks of our engagement, 23 qualified applications, revenue generated $15,000 in sales commissions. And this is the proof of the lead list with the tags of deposit leads, of funded leads as well. And so now I'm going to allow you guys to hear from the man himself about exactly his experience with our service.
What's up, everyone? My name is Daniel, founder of Outbound Acceleration. We help B2B companies generate more qualified sales meetings without adding additional headcount. With me here is Tom, founder of Pathway Catalyst Partners. Tom, feel free to introduce yourself.
What's going on? I own a business finance brokerage independent sales office, and we work with business owners across the country, getting them different types of funding and finance products.
Nice. So Tom, before we started working together, what was going on with your lead generation? Like, what was the actual situation?
So we weren't doing as well with emails. There was definitely a big gap in what we could acquire, and that's why we partnered with you guys.
Nice. So of course that could have been frustrating, not getting enough leads, having to deal with inconsistent business partners, right? How did that whole experience make you feel about working with other lead generation companies?
Well, listen, there's a lot of different companies out there that will offer lead generation, but it's hard to fit specific niches. So in the B2B world, we want to work with somebody who has expertise there, because if you're doing email campaigns and you're trying to scale a business, if your campaigns are being inconsistent and they're not, generating enough lead flow, it's going to be bad for a sales office.
So in that time, what were you doing instead? What were you doing to overcome that gap that you had in lead generation? How were you trying to get new clients when you had that lead generation gap?
Well, we do a lot of phone calls, individual emails and individual text messages.
Okay, so when we first reached out to you, what made you even consider working with us?
I really liked Jack. Jack was really good on the phone. When I got him on the phone, I immediately liked him. And I was like, this sounds like a legit person, and I told him what my concerns were and issues I had in the past. And you guys were able to, work around certain requirements that we had. And you guys were like, hey, listen, we want to take you guys on as a client. We think we can get results, and we're going to make it, achievable for you. And it was really good.
Nice. So I'd like to ask the other question as well. What concerned you about us when we first reached out to you? What were you hesitant about?
Well, I wasn't necessarily hesitant about you guys specifically, but there are a lot of factors that go into email marketing. And for a business owner to work with certain types of marketing campaigns, you have to be in their house, so to speak. And I said, listen, I didn't want to work with any more email companies where I was being housed on their system. I wanted you guys to build out our system and do it from there. And that was the major thing that you guys were willing to do. You were able to say, hey, Tom, you don't have to be, one of our sub accounts, we'll make you the main account and we'll operate from there. Because obviously, I don't know what I can say, but when it comes to the email marketing, you're controlling a lot of domains, you're controlling a lot of email addresses. And the concern becomes, okay, I'm paying for the email domains and the email addresses. So if I'm paying somebody else's service to operate those things, if me and them reach a point where we're gonna go separate directions, they actually have my domains and those email addresses. Yep. But with you guys, you said, no, we don't mind you controlling and operating it, and we'll do what we do. Yes. And I was like, well, yeah, that makes me obviously, able to sign a contract with you and say, okay, listen, as long as I'm still gonna own these things and I'm the master account, then yeah, I have more of the leverage in this equation, which is honestly how I think it should be as a business owner. I have to, while you also own a business, I have a floor of 30 sales guys. So, if for whatever reason, obviously we only want success, but we have to plan for, okay, what's our, exit strategy? If we're going separate directions, I have to be able to take those domains and those emails and purpose them. I can't have my, my balls in the vice grip. Yep. You know what I mean?
So that's exactly what happened, and I remember going.
That's exactly what I did. I didn't know if you didn't want me to give up the secret sauce.
Anything. Or we're at a moment where generating consistent opportunities, we're going to generate a lot more.
Yeah. So and we've been growing the system.
Yes.
We've grown it month over month. The thing is, it starts from that foundation of trust.
That's the fantastic part about our system. We customize and tailor it specifically to the business's needs. For you, we did exactly that. Whatever you wanted to see, all of the specific tactical stuff, also how the system functioned, how you wanted to receive your leads, how you wanted to message those leads.
Yeah, but the thing that I like about you guys is when I said, listen, I need to be the master account. Yeah. I need to have all of the things in here. And then you guys are working from within my system. Yeah. And then, obviously you as the lead company and the marketing company, you might be saying, well, but Tom, you could screw me at any moment, or Tom, you could shut me out at any moment. It's like, well, obviously I want your service. I don't want to shut you out. The only thing I'm trying to protect from is that if we were to go separate ways, you're not going to say, I lose all my domains and emails. All your
assets.
I'll never work with another company ever again under those other terms. And I'd imagine the real clients that you want to work with and the clients that are going to take the most advantage of your service are going to be the business owners who say, hey, I understand email marketing enough to understand I need to have the keys to this. Yeah. And to work with somebody who you can trust to give the keys to and say, build the house for me, which is what you've done. So that's really awesome, because I'm never going to put myself in a situation again where somebody I'm a sub account under them.
Yeah, and you shouldn't have to. The nature of this product is that we're generating leads for your business. So you should maintain all of the assets that go into that. We're simply operating, building, and improving on it. Day over day, week over week, month over month. That's exactly how it works. So we've been together for almost 2 months. Yeah. How are you feeling about the results?
Yeah, we like it. We've been growing the system month over month. Obviously, there's always initial challenges, but I've been around the block long enough to know the way you guys operate, the way you guys work. You have very high integrity. You guys have very good, strong work ethic. You solve problems fast. You don't bullshit. And things like this, they take time to build and scale. Like, we started with 30,000 emails. Last month we did 50,000. This month we're doing 100,000. Obviously we're looking to keep growing and keep doing that. And I think the things that make you guys your secret sauce and the things that you bring to the table, like outside of, there's these email marketing things, but what you guys put into it is really cool. Yeah. And I think how you guys got me was good too. You said, we're only targeting people who are hiring. Yeah. And, I was excited for you guys to utilize that for us too. Like, oh shit, we're looking for business owners. Yeah. Can you target business owners who are hiring? And you're also scraping things off the internet through different services. And I don't know what the other questions are going to be, but I do know that one thing that excites me about what you guys do is, unlike other marketing services where we're emailing and following up with data that we already have, you guys are helping us originate data. So what I can say is a lot of times our marketing efforts are to repeat people.
Yes.
They're repeat customers of the product. They've used financing before, they've done things before, and we're looking to beat what they already have and do a better job. And what you guys' service has been doing for us so far,
Yes.
and we are expanding it and trying to do more, but you guys were originating people who have never taken out financing before. So for us, that's the way that works for us is there's no competition there. When you guys are originating the data for us and you're originating the client and they have no prior experience with our product, we're their first introduction, which is something that we definitely want as much of as possible.
Yes.
Obviously, our entire business has been built on people who understand the product and want it better. We are at the point where, and it is incredibly frustrating and incredibly difficult, when you separate those two things and you say, Tom, how's your marketing efforts been? It's like, okay, well, my marketing efforts on people who have familiarity with the product has been really good. Has been really good for a long time. Obviously, could be better, and I'm loving having you guys add to that. But when it comes to, hey Tom, how successful have you been at originating people who are not competing with anybody else, are not looking at your competition, and have never used the product before, and you're going to be their introduction? Very, very small amounts of success. You guys had immediate, consistent success. The things that we got done were first-time purchasers. And the power of that is now I have these people's relationship from day one. I plan to continue to nurture and develop those relationships so that they never become in the pool of clients that I'm then beating away from my competition. Because most of my business is, oh, these people aren't providing the service as well for you. I'm gonna take your business and make you wanna be with me because I'm better. With the people you're originating, it's like you never have to go anywhere else, you're starting with the best. But that's a big difference between that type of marketing. And the way you guys are doing it is really good.
Exactly. So market expansion, more so than trading the current market around with your competitors.
I think that's the strength that if I had to highlight, the strength would be that you guys are not really a follow-up process. While you could be, you know, and you can add those elements.
Of course.
You're good at originating business that I otherwise wouldn't have gotten. Like, you know what I mean? Because there's a difference between, oh, if I had 50,000 emails and you emailed them or this company emailed them, who's gonna get me better results on the data I already had? You guys are originating the data. So it's impossible to compare. And because you guys are so good at that, obviously you're gonna be good at follow-up. The ability to originate new clients that have never used the service before and make them interested and make a commitment is quite a bit of a challenge, and you guys are doing it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate the kind words, the telling of exactly how you felt and how you feel about our business model.
You guys are killing it. I think you're great. I think any business that you guys are in, as we said, as long as it's not my competitors, I don't give a shit. I hope you knock it out of the park with, you know, everybody else. Because look, any business is gonna want this service. Like, you know what I mean? The truth is, like, you know, obviously I'm in sales. You know, so I like sales. You know, any business that you wind up talking to that, you know, if they try it for a month, you know, and I'm sure you're going to work out a good deal because that's how you do business. But if you work out a good deal, the people that go with you, they're going to see within the first month, like, okay, this is a different thing, you know, because I understand why you're saying what your intro is without having to increase your head count. Because you guys aren't really following up. You're really originating and nurturing the leads that otherwise would not have existed. So you really are creating deal flow.
And one last question, just to end it off. What did you have to do to get lead generation to work? Because the big thing is this, A lot of companies are interested in leads. They want more customers. Everybody wants to make more revenue, but are they ready to take more sales calls, to be involved in more deals? Would you have any advice to that?
So I think that's a tough question to answer. So, right, you're asking me, how could somebody get themselves prepared to use your service?
Essentially, yes.
The answer that immediately jumps to my mind, sometimes you ever hear like of imposter syndrome?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes, like you know what I mean? Like that's kind of a little bit what it is.
Yeah.
Where listen, I've got an office now that's got like 30 people in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to sometimes accept that that's the reality.
Yeah.
Like, the truth is, the single business owner out there right now, if he uses your service to really get the results that you want to get, you have to be the original person. I think the best thing is, I'm just trying to be honest.
Yeah,
right? I'm trying not to be cocky.
That's all.
I'm a bulldozer. Listen, if the person's a one-man operation and he's looking to do more business, he should hire you because you're originating deal flow for this business. If you run a business and you have 3, 4, 5 people in your business and you need to get better at that operation, okay, you really should have at least one person designated as an opener. One person has to be the follow-up or the closer. And you've got to compensate these people well enough to where, like, ideally, it's the best opportunity for them. And look, when I get in deal flow from you guys, I keep more of that money for my company than I pay out on a deal that they originate themselves. Me and them both appreciate that happening. I have to collect more money so that I can pay for the service. But they also get warmer leads.
There you go.
But there's no right size of a company. If it's a single man operation, I've worked with services that I had to do all of the work, but it was an ability for me to grow. Had I met you 6 years ago, I maybe wouldn't have ever wanted to hire more people. I'll be honest. Listen, people are the most difficult part of the business. It's much, much easier to work with a service like yours where you want to have success, I want to have success, and these things are kind of automated.
Nice.
But the thing right now is, if you're not doing email campaigns, if you're not aggressive at email, you're probably not competing in your space. And if you're not competing in your space, and I have this conversation with clients more often than I'd like to, just because you're trying to not do certain things, or you don't have an aspiring for growth, or you don't have that push, let me tell you something. Your competition wants to kill you. They want you to die. Like, they want your family to starve. Like, you might be an auto repair shop in Alpharetta, Georgia, and you're like, I don't care, Tom. I only want to make 30, 40 grand a month. I don't want to do marketing. I don't want to do emails. I don't want to take out any loans. It's like, dude, the guy down the block from you is working twice as hard as you, doing all of the things, and his sole goal is to suck up as much of the market in his area as possible. He wants your business. That guy is running a sale right now, willing to take a loss so that you go out of business. The pizza place down the block from your pizza place is running sales, emails, texting. They're at local conventions. They're giving away pizza. They're doing everything they could do. They want you to go out of business. So
if you're not growing, you're losing. So in order to continue this growth, unlock more channels of lead flow, get those potential deals in, set up a reliable sales team, opener and closer, just as Tom suggested. And from there, expand your marketing efforts, get more of an exact awareness about what type of customers best fit within your business, and increase your prices, increase your efficiency within your team. And from there, that's ultimately how it will feel like when you get to that place in your business, just like you've gone, where you're in a certain place of team management. You know how to deal with your people. You also know how to deal with deals coming in.
Well, yeah, listen, training is highly critical. You know what I mean? Because, look, You can generate leads. If I can't follow up with them, if I can't qualify them, if I can't close them, that's really on me. And you have to be, you know, you have to be self-aware enough and accountable.
Yes.
You have to hold yourself accountable, because the way I gauge you guys' results is I'm also being completely honest with myself.
Yeah.
I'm getting these people on the phone and I'm seeing what they like, what they don't like, and I'm emailing them. And let me tell you something. The people that you guys are getting in most of the time are qualified leads.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I suck at the follow-up process or I suck at the sales process, it wouldn't matter what you can originate. So again, like if you're talking about like it's a solo entrepreneur, likely if a solo person's gonna hire you, that person's pretty good. That person knows their product in and out. But if that person is like a small office of a team of like 3, 4, 5 people, and they are about to hire you, the things that they have to be on top of are, hey, okay, what is your qualifying process? What are the questions this person needs to ask? What are the rebuttals? What is the training that this person needs to be their best possible chance at success with the marketing? Because otherwise, you're gonna generate leads and the person's not gonna know how to handle them.
Yep.
So the training process has to be really good.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, speed.
Yep.
Like, yo, nothing replaces speed. You know what I mean? Like, does not take that long to follow up with somebody.
Yeah.
If the lead comes in at 9:15 a.m. and you saw it come in, call the guy.
Yep.
Text the guy. Email the person. You know what I mean? And follow up is critical.
Yep. Exactly. That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Generating opportunities, following up.
Here's the thing though, if you run a sales office or you're doing sales, you should already know the other steps that we're talking about.
There you go.
The thing that you guys are bringing to the table that's different is you're originating the deal. Every other part of the process is the same.
Yeah.
So no matter who you're working with, if they have a sales process, what's most exciting is that Dan and Outbound Accelerator are able to originate me clients that I otherwise wouldn't have had access to.
Yep.
You know, because theoretically the person that is going to be hiring you already has other systems in place.
For sure.
And new deal flow is good.
So that was awesome, Tom. That was a great interview.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
That answered all your questions?
All the questions. That was terrific. So just before we wrap up, where can viewers check you out to learn more about you?
They can find us on social media, Pathway Catalyst for the company.
Yes.
They can find Thomas Chillemi. They can find me on different social medias. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll be in for a show.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Right,
But
cool.
we're everywhere.
Cool. So yeah. So if you're watching this and you're struggling with lead generation like Tom was and no longer is, check us out on LinkedIn and YouTube. Outbound Acceleration, outboundacceleration.com. And yeah, thanks for watching. Take care.